I am my mother's lawyer." The words echoed through the courtroom like thunder on a clear day, causing Judge Harrison to stop leafing through the documents and look up over his glasses. David John was only 9 years old, but his voice cut through the formal silence of the family courtroom like a sharp blade. He stood next to his mother, Janet, who looked at him with a mixture of pride and terror, while across the room, John Peter, his biological father, almost choked on his coffee. "I'm sorry, young man, but this is a legal hearing between adults," said the judge with forced patience, looking at the skinny boy in glasses who dared to interrupt a $1 million custody case. "I know, Your Honor. I also know that according to Article 12 of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, ratified, I have the right to express my opinion on matters that directly affect me." David adjusted his glasses and opened a scribbled school notebook. "And this case definitely affects me." The silence that followed was deafening. John Peter, Johnson real estate mogul, wearing a suit that cost more than Janet earned in 6 months, looked at his 2 expensive lawyers as if he wanted to strangle them. No one had prepared the ground to face a child quoting international law. Janet Godwin worked 60 hours a week as a nursing assistant to raise David on her own. In the 8 years since John discovered he was a father, he had appeared in the boy's life exactly 4 times, always with expensive gifts and empty promises. Now, suddenly, he wanted full custody. "Your Honor," John's lead attorney, Dr. Michael, interjected, adjusting his tie knot, "this is highly irregular. The child has no legal capacity to—" "I have a right to be heard," David interrupted him with a comment that made several adults in the room shift uncomfortably. "And if you really cared about my well-being, you would want to hear what I have to say rather than trying to silence me." John leaned over to whisper something urgent in Dr. Michael's ear, but David continued, opening his notebook with precise movements. "Your Honor, I have prepared a documented presentation on why I should remain with my mother, including evidence of the petitioner's true motives." He paused, his eyes meeting John's for the first time. "Motives that I believe the court will find very enlightening." John's face paled visibly. What exactly had this boy discovered? And how had a 9-year-old managed to prepare better for this hearing than he and his millionaire lawyers? There, in that silent courtroom, everyone was witnessing something extraordinary. A boy who held secrets capable of bringing down empires built on lies. If this story of courage and intelligence is touching your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because what David was about to reveal would change not only his life, but the way the justice system views the voice of children forever. Dr. Michael quickly regained his composure, as any experienced lawyer would. "Your Honor, while we admire the child's creativity, this court deals with complex family law issues that require adequate legal representation." "Then why didn't you provide one for him?" David asked, closing his notebook with a sharp snap that echoed through the silent room. "In the last 8 months of this case, no one thought it important to hear the opinion of the person most affected by this decision." John Sunday shifted uneasily in his chair. There was something about the boy's calmness that bothered him deeply. David didn't seem the least bit intimidated by the formal surroundings, the expensive lawyers, or the imposing presence of his own biological father. Janet watched her son with a mixture of pride and panic. For weeks, David had been coming home from school with strange books from a library, legal codes, children's rights manuals, court precedents. She had thought it was just academic curiosity from a bright child. She never imagined that his son was up to something. The story has just began. If you've watched and listened to this story to this point, kindly comment Part 2 for a continuation. Like and follow the page for more.